Hola, distance learners. Hoy es viernes, el 30 de octubre. So if I asked you, ¿qué día es hoy? We'd say, hoy es viernes, el 30 de octubre. Okay? Lo que vamos a hacer, what we're going to do today, I love this. I have to show you this because it's really cute. There. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we're going to practice months of the year today. We're going to take some Gustar notes, do some Gustar practice. Complete page 45 in your workbook. So that's about numbers. So it's a little bit different assignment today. I do have a Gustar Move It activity that I'm going to assign next week because I want to have us practicing both things going on. So we do have some Gustar practice plus number practice. So that's the homework, is to complete the number. There's a number worksheet in your homework packet. I'll talk about that in a second. That needs to be uploaded into Google Classroom by Monday, 9:30 a.m. And then don't forget to study Quizlet. If you haven't been doing that, remember that we will have our next test is pretty big. There's like 116 terms on it. So work towards that goal of passing the test by 90%. And then you also have to complete 3 other activities. Keep working on that as we go, okay? All right, so let's go through the months of the year quickly. I'm going to just say them, and then you can repeat them. And then if you want to, you can listen to our little song again. So repite, por favor. Enero, febrero, marzo, abril, mayo, junio, julio, agosto, septiembre, octubre, noviembre, diciembre. Muy bien. Okay, let's keep going. We're going to take some notes. So today you need to have your packet. It looks like this. This is the Gustar notes. So you need to print that off if you don't have it. Most people should have gotten that when you picked up your, or all distance learners should have come to school and picked this up. Was available with the last group of materials that were sent out. And just FYI, next week there's going to be another material pickup for the last items that you need. It won't always be everything, so I'm trying to print off as much as possible. So there might be a circumstance under which you have to just write it on loose leaf if you don't have a printer. I'm doing my best, though, to get copies to you. So let's go. Gustar. So you might have seen this verb before. Gustar is used to express likes and dislikes. Have you ever, maybe back in 8th grade, you talked about things you like to do, like me gusta nadar, me gusta bailar, me gusta cantar. And we're going to talk about activities that we like and things that we like too. So let's look at things right now because this is a new one. Although it's an AR verb, gustar works differently than other AR verbs. Use gustar with nouns, and this is how we do this, or in order to do this, we use these following patterns. There's 2 different things you'd say. It's pretty simple, either me gusta or me gustan, okay? We use me gusta or no me gusta with one thing that you like. So if I said, me gusta la pizza, it's one thing that I'm liking. But if I like more than one thing, then I would say me gustan. You add the N then. So me gustan los libros or no me gustan los libros. Okay? All right. Then we put this thing, a mí, it's called a clarifying phrase in front for emphasis. So we can say, a mí me gusta la pizza. If someone asks you, like, do you like to do it? You could say, pues, well, a mí me gusta mucho. Okay? So that clarifying phrase is kind of something new for us too. So here are some examples. I like classical music. Is me gusta la música clásica. I like classical music. Or no me gusta el programa. I do not like the program. Now we're going to look at some plural things. So we just had A's for singular things. So me, remember that clarifying phrase, me me gustan las artes. I like the arts. And a mí no me gustan las artes de biología y literatura, okay? Las clases, okay? Did I say artes? Okay. But a mí you don't need to have it. That's completely optional because we know that may already announces who's doing the liking of things. Interestingly, the verb gustar doesn't mean to like at all. It means to be pleasing or to please. And so that's why we have the may in front, because it's pleasing to me, okay? We're just looking at may right now. We're going to look at other pronouns in a second. To talk about what you like and don't like to do differently, this is different now. Use the following pattern, just no me gusta or no me gusta. So It doesn't matter if you have one infinitive. Remember, infinitive is the AR verb or ER-IR verb, like nadar, cantar, nadar. So even if it's three infinitives, a list, you're still going to keep it singular. That's different from talking about nouns. So when we're talking about infinitive verbs or activities that we like to do, you don't make the A plural. You don't say me gustan, okay? You just keep it singular, okay? So look at this example. Remember the infinitive is the verb in its original form. You already know that. So ejemplo, look at this. Me gusta cantar y bailar. Even though we're liking two things, we're not making it me gustan. Just leave it me gusta. That's just for these verbs. With nouns, that's when we'll make it me gustan. Okay? So here you need to fill in this whole chart at the bottom of your notes here. So you might want to pause and do this. But the verb gustar says, how do I ask other people what they like to do and express what others like to do or not do? So now instead of saying me and may, like this one, I was me and may, fill in the chart. So you already have your subject pronouns are all listed here. So when you talk about you like to do, you write you is a ti te gusta. And formal, if I'm talking to Mr. Reeves, for example, I would talk to him saying, a usted le gusta. He likes, I would say, a él le gusta. She likes, a ella le gusta. We like, a nosotros nos gusta. You all like, a vosotros, that'd be os gusta, okay? And you have to have the pronoun. This part is not optional. You have to have that pronoun. You all is a ustedes les gusta. And then, of course, I'm going to leave that. A ellos les gusta or a ellas les gusta. Now, of course, it could be gustan too if it's more than one thing that they like. Another thing that you need to know is there's a kind of a formula. There's the clarifying phrase. Again, that's optional. However, think about this. If we had me, a ti, a nosotros, a vosotros, we already know, and that's optional. And oftentimes we need to clarify. So clarify or emphasize who we're talking about. Because look at this. A usted, a él, and a ella all use the pronoun le. And a ustedes, a ellos, a ellas, they all use les. So sometimes we need to say a ustedes or a ellos to see who we're really talking about. So when you're doing she likes the books, we want to say she likes the books, we would say a ella le gustan los libros. These are just for practice, and I don't think there's a spot in your notes. Just follow along right now, okay? So we like the math class. We have to go over here and go, okay, we like. Okay, that's a nosotros and nos. So we got the clarifying phrase and nos. If you have a no they don't like, then you put the no, otherwise leave it. So a nosotros, nos, and it's how many things that are being liked? Gusta, okay? So it's one thing, one math class. So a nosotros nos gusta, because it's one class, la clase de matemáticas. A nosotros nos gusta la clase de matemáticas. Ana does not like the pens. We would say, a Ana, okay, you don't have to even replace her with a subject pronoun. You can leave her name in there too. So you would say, a Ana, and this is a does not like, so we need a no there. And then you have to go, okay, it's a Ana, that's she, a Ana, so we're using a Ana there instead of a ella. Le, okay, gustan, right? No le gustan las plumas, because it's more than one pen. A Ana no le gustan las plumas. Remember, if it's more than one thing that we don't like or like, then you have to have the N there, okay? I like the literature class. It's one class. So a mí me gusta la clase de literatura. Look how we're writing out literature, all these classes. You'd say la clase and then de and then whatever class it is that you like. It doesn't matter what class. La clase de inglés, la clase de español. And then I like this one. You all like the homework. And we're going to use a ustedes this time. So you all would be a ustedes and les, right? Because a ustedes les. How many things are being liked? One thing. So a ustedes les gusta la tarea. So it's singular because you're talking about la tarea. I wrote ha ha here. Did you know that that's how you say ha ha in Spanish? If you spelled it H-A, remember H is silent, so you'd be saying ah. But we want to say ha and keep that sound, so you have to use a J. All right, let's move on. So here's this practice for you to try this, okay? So look at the example that we have again. I color-coded everything for you, so hopefully it'll make it easier. But I like the chair. Remember, clarifying phrase, your pronoun. Gusta, because it's one thing, and it's chair, la silla. So a mí me gusta la silla. Remember that formula then. Clarifying phrase, know if you need it. Pronoun, gusta or gustan is more than one thing or more than one thing being liked. That's how you decide gusta or gustan. And then either the noun or the infinitive. If it's a noun, it's going to need el or la or los or las with it, and then the infinitive. So on scratch paper, I want you to try these 6. You're going to translate the sentences and then check your answers on the next page. So you could pause now, get out a piece of paper, and then come back and finish, okay? As soon as you're done, we're going to forward. So I'm going to go on to the next slide. Actually, skip this next slide because you can check your answers on the next slide, and then there's more information. So I'm going to skip through. Okay, all right. So aquí está la tarea. Here's your homework for lunes, la página 45 in your workbook packet. Not just the next one, but jump to 45. So we learned about numbers yesterday, those big numbers. You're going to need to write these numbers in word form all the way out. So you're not writing out the numerals, okay? So look at this example right here. It says, this is interesting. These are phone numbers. In Spanish, to say phone numbers, you say the first number would be, look at this one is right here. It says nueve. Then you start to group them. So nueve, 68, 36, 59. So always the first number, and then you group them these two, these two, these two. So write those out in numeral format. Then down here, ¿cuántos hay means how many are there? Use the inventory list to answer these questions about the amount of items in stock at the school bookstore. Use complete sentences and write out the Spanish words for numbers. So ¿cuántos mapas hay means how many maps are there? You have to find the maps. It's in cursive too, you guys. You have to deduce what these each mean because I don't know how many students have learned cursive anymore. But anyway, so you're going to say I in each case. I, and then write out 66, which would be what? 66 mapas. I. So I first is the first word that you need for each of these, plus your number in Spanish, and then what the item is. Down here, it says la universidad. Use the information provided to complete the paragraph about a student at a large state university. Write out the Spanish words for numbers. So you're going to read through this. La universidad es muy grande. Hay blank estudiantes. We find your estudiantes, and then you're going to write out that big word. Do you remember what the word for 1,000 is? Remember, it's mil, M-I-L. So use your notes on this, okay? Don't try to guess it unless you just know it, but most of us don't. Okay, so that needs to be, you need to snap a photo of that and upload that in Google Classroom. Due Monday morning, 9:30. Okay, checklist. Did you do these things? Did you review your vocab? Did you take your notes and use the Gustar activities or complete those Gustar activities? Then, did you complete page 45 in your Lección 2 workbook packet and upload it to Google Classroom? And don't forget about studying Quizlets at número 4. And that is it. I know there's a lot going on. I think we fall back this weekend, so we can set our clocks back Saturday night, which is Halloween. So hopefully we don't eat too much candy, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Espero que tengan un buen fin de semana. Hasta luego. Ciao.